Hello, Algebra students. Today you are going to have your first review day for Unit 1 over real number operations. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to Google Classroom and you're going to go to Unit 1 review day. And you're going to see that there are two different activities, three attachments, but two activities that you need to complete. The first activity is a Kahoot. So click on the link. And this is going to take you to what's called a Kahoot. And the way that this is set up is you're going to enter your name and then you're going to answer the questions, the multiple choice questions that we're asking. And these are over operations with fractions. And we are going to have a class competition to see who gets them right the fastest. So who gets the most right, and the time is also factored in. So I would type in my name. So I'm going to put my name. Okay. And then it's going to take me through the 8 questions. So it'd probably be a good idea to have a sheet of paper for you to do work off to the side, because here my first question is to add 1/4 plus 3/5. So the denominators are not the same, so I'd have to get the same denominators. So 4 and 5 both go in the 20. 4 times 5 is what gives me 20, so this fraction needs to get multiplied by 5 over 5. All right, so that's going to get complicated. That's a lot for me to try to think about in my head. So this is why you would need your paper to write it down. Okay, and then you're going to do is you're going to come up with an answer right there. And then once you think that you have your answer, make sure that you always simplify it. Click on the answer, and I haven't done this problem. I'm just going to click on one of them. I'm going to see if it's right or wrong. It is right. So there you go. You got the first one given to you. And then you're going to go through, you're going to go next, and then it's going to take you to the next question. And you're going to go through and going to do all 8 questions. And that is your first activity. Right. You don't need to tell us what your score is because we will be able to get in and see what your scores are. So please just make sure that you put your name and then you go through, you do all 8, and again, have your own work page. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to do a clue activity, and this is going to be going over order of operations. All right, so you'll need to sign in with your Rush County School email, and then please tell me which block that you have algebra. All right, and here's the background. It says 6 contestants on a reality TV show find one of their co-contestants was murdered. It is up to you to try to figure out who did it, their last known whereabouts, and the method. Evaluate the expressions below by using order of operations. Each answer will give you a clue. Use these clues to eliminate other possibilities, and the boxes left unchecked will reveal the crime. If you cannot figure it out, you may be next. Good luck. All right, so there are 10 clues here. Okay, and then for each clue, it's going to give you, it gives you 4 options. One of them is true, the other 3 are false. So we're going to go through and we're going to do one of these together. I'm going to do the one that I think that might give you the most problems, might be the longest. All right, so this is clue number 10. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to go back to Google Classroom. This is where you're going to submit your answers and check your work. Google Classroom on this work page is where you're going to actually show your work. So you're going to open this up, and each one of you will already have one of these automatically assigned for you. And you're going to see each of the questions already typed in. So what you're going to do is I would suggest that you copy the equation, or it's not an equation, sorry, the expression that's already given to you. So copy that. So you can either go up to Edit and then copy, or you can see the shortcut is on your keyboard pressing Control and C. So you're going to copy it, and then on the line below it, you're going to paste it. It didn't copy. Hold on a second. There you go. All right, so the reason why I'm doing that is because you should know by now that when you do order of operations, it's kind of like an upside down Christmas tree where you're just evaluating one component of your expression at a time until you just come down, you evaluate it to just one number. All right, so remember, order of operations is please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, also called PIMDAS, but the P stands for parentheses. So here I'm looking at my first equation, and I'm looking to see, are there any parentheses? And the answer is yes. I have 9 minus 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change that. 9 minus 5, whoops. Let me go back. I didn't mean to do that part. So now I need to take 9 minus 5, and I need to change that to be what that is, which 9 minus 5 is 4. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this equation, or sorry, I keep saying equation, expression. And I'm going to go to the next line. I'm going to paste it, and then I'm going to figure out, okay, which do I do next? All right, so I'm still looking for parentheses. Okay, inside these parentheses, I no longer have an operation. All right, so I don't see any other parentheses. However, fractions, we could put parentheses around the entire numerator. We could also put parentheses around the entire denominator. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to evaluate the numerator and the denominator of the fraction. So in the numerator, I have 2 plus 4. So 2 plus 4, I'm going to go ahead and change that to 6. And in the denominator, I have negative 5 minus 1. So those have the same sign, which means I'm going to go ahead and add 5 and 1 to make 6. And since they were both negative, it means that this is going to give us negative 6. All right, then I'm going to once again copy, and then I'm going to go down and paste. I am finished with parentheses. So now I look to do E, which is exponents. So do I have any exponents? And the answer is yes. Right here I have exponents. So in parentheses I have 4, and I'm squaring that. So that means I'm taking 4 times 4, which is going to give me 16. So I'm going to replace that with 16. And once again, I'll go through, I'll copy my expression, and then I'll paste it. And then now I'm looking for any other exponents, and I don't see any. All right, so after E, it's M or D. All right, so multiplication or division, working our way from left to right. So there's subtraction, addition, subtraction. Here's multiplication. All right, so I'm going to multiply 4 times this fraction. So actually, even though this multiplication is here first, I should probably simplify this fraction. So 6 divided by negative 6, well, 6 divided by 6 is 1. A positive divided by a negative is a negative. So I'm going to change all of this to be negative 1. All right, now once again, I'll copy, and I'll go down to the next line, and I'll paste. And the way I'm pasting is you can either go to Edit Paste, or the shortcut is Control V. All right, so going back here, I had the multiplication symbol. All right, so I have 4 times negative 1. Now, you can either do it this way. If you're going to take it as negative 4 times negative 1, that's fine. Or if you're going to do it as 4 times negative 1, that's also fine. All right, so if I do it as 4 times negative 1, that's going to give me a positive times a negative is a negative. 4 times 1 is 4, so negative 4. But then a negative, a double negative will change to a positive. So if I had thought of it this way, okay, it might have been a little easier. Negative 4 times negative 1, a negative times a negative is a positive, and 4 times 1 is 4. So whichever way you like to think of it, that's going to become a positive 4. So then I'll copy, and I'll paste. Negative plus minus times. Here's another times. All right, so negative 3 times 100. Well, a negative times a positive is a negative, and 3 times 100 is 300. So I'll copy, I'll paste, and now I'm done with all my multiplication and division. So now I'm just going to do addition and subtraction, working left to right. So I'll do 7 minus 9, so different signs. So 9 minus 7 is 2. 9's larger than 7, so I'll keep the negative sign. So this is going to give me negative 2. I'll copy, I'll paste. So now I have negative 2 plus 16. Those are different signs, so I'll subtract. 16 minus 2 is 14. 16 is larger, so that's going to give me positive 14. I'll copy, I'll paste. 14 plus 4, those are the same signs, so I'll just add. 14 plus 4 is going to give me positive 18. I'll copy, I'll paste. 18 plus 8 is going to give me 26. And then the last operation, 26 minus 300, different signs, so I'll subtract. So 300 minus 26, I'll do this in two parts. I'll take 300 minus 20, which will give me 280, and then 280 minus 6 would give me 274. All right, and then final thing is when they have different signs after you subtracted, look at which number was bigger. So 26 or 300, which one's bigger? Obviously 300 is bigger. So what's the sign directly in front of it? It's negative, so this answer would be negative 274. All right, so now I have all of my work. Okay, and so that got me down to negative 274. So over here on the Google form, I see that clue number 10, these are my options, negative 274, negative 135, 62, or 452. All right, so it was negative 274 is what I got. So I'm going to mark that off. All right, so what this says is Mr. Epsilon was doing laps in the pool. Okay, so that means that he has an alibi. He has something that he was doing. So what you would do is you would scroll to the bottom, and this is Mr. Epsilon. So Mr. Epsilon, we know what he was doing. Okay, so whoever is going to be left unmarked is going to be guilty. All right, so this means that Mr. Epsilon is not guilty. Okay, he had an alibi. He was doing laps in the pool. So that means that we also know a location from this. So I'd mark off pool. Whatever box is not marked is going to be where the crime took place. And whatever box is not marked here, which I didn't get anything from that last clue, but you will from all 10 when you put them together. Okay, what this one would be is whatever box is left unmarked, that is going to be what method was used. All right, and so then what you're going to do is you're going to hit submit. Oh, this was a required question. Let's say I'm in block 1. And then what I'm going to do is I can view my accuracy. So I can do all of the problems at once and then I can submit it, or I can do one problem at a time and click submit and see how I did. All right, so obviously I didn't do the first 9 clues, so I'm going to scroll down to clue number 10, and it says that for clue number 10, I got it right. All right, so that tells me that I'm on the right track. Now, obviously I didn't get these questions right, okay, because they're going to have all of these boxes checked except one. So I only have one so far. Okay, so it's not that this isn't correct, it's just I'm not finished with this problem. All right, so that's how you view your accuracy. Then you can close off of that tab. And then right here, it says view accuracy, or you can edit your response. So I'll edit my response, and then I would go to another question. All right, so I would go, for example, to question number 1. I'd go back to my work page. I'd copy the equation. Not equation, I'm sorry, I keep doing that. I'd copy the expression, and then I'd go through and I'd figure out what am I going to do first here to evaluate. Copy and keep going until I get an answer, and I know the answer either has to be 6, 7, 8, or 9. All right. I believe that should be enough explanation for these 2 activities. Please let me know if you have any questions. I hope you enjoy doing some activities rather than just doing our normal ALEKS homework.